fortunate to have that right away.
Yeah.
So it popped out for a second. Is that
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so hopefully this video can help people. What we want to do is a little bit to share our experience, because this can help people to relate, right? Because I guess we're all pretty much having the same experience. And again, because like we're usually both very optimistic, we already thought about, creative ways that, we can usefully spend this time. So of course, how was your how did you realize that this is serious and I have to take action?
Oh, well, like everybody, I think most people around the country, the President Trump gave a speech basically announcing, and the CDC as well, that this is in fact a pandemic that should be taken very seriously, and people should, if they are able to, work from home, and any precautions they can take. Obviously, avoid crowded places, avoid small closed-in places that don't have a lot of ventilation.
Be careful when you maybe touch the table. Because the camera shakes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Should we? Are we continuing to roll, or are we?
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. I'll try not to do that. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just take as many precautions as you can. So I've elected to work from home.
Yeah.
As where I am now. My husband and I are actually been hyper vigilant as of lately, because I am 6 months pregnant, and that is a big concern. Is when you're pregnant, you can't take a lot of medicine that might negatively affect the baby. Yeah. So that is, a huge concern of ours.
Yeah.
So my husband, who actually works in the media, is also altering where he works. He's not being so much out in the field, where the environment is much more variable, and you can come across a lot of different people, but he's going to be working maybe more inside the house.
Yeah.
So
Because I think a lot of people, of course this is huge emotional distress. And first of all, we have to realize that yes, of course, this is a huge distress. We didn't ask for this. This is the least thing we wanted. But as we were saying, bad things happen in life, and it's about how you deal with that. And I mean, especially if it doesn't matter your age or your family situation, you have to try to be the adult in the room, even if you are a teenager, even if you have to understand that this is a time where you can prove to yourself that you are a valuable human being. You can do few things that are the right thing to do. And we were talking about to use the examples that we see in general, like what happened with that player from the Utah Jazz, that we're saying that was very irresponsible, because you don't know, and again, you might want to, the perspective of being locked down for 2 months can be scary, right? Can be unsettling. It's, oh my God, what I'm going to do? So your first reaction is denial, right? You used that word before, right? You said, yeah, you're in denial. That is understandable. But then that has to be over when you see that your irresponsibility or superficiality can harm other people. Why you want to do that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that there is a lot of unknowns, most of which being you don't know if you have it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, the symptoms can be mild to very severe, and depending on your immune system. But the fact that it look like the common cold, or you can have no symptoms but still be a carrier. So if you don't know, you could easily carry it to other people. So I think instead of people, I mean, I have to admit myself, the denial was there. I mean, I was out, we did a baby moon, my husband and I, in New York City, and we were going to shows, restaurants, public places all the time. And, it didn't really occur to us. We weren't, we weren't really thinking about that. But people were getting sicker, and the numbers were growing by the hour. So it became more a feeling of responsibility. Now I have a social responsibility to protect my neighbors, my fellow coworkers, friends. So I don't put myself as well to myself in danger as well as them. They may be a carrier. I myself may be carrying it, or just, other people, and then we become carriers. I mean, you don't.
Yeah, that's the point. Again, why you want to take the chance? And again, of course, this is extremely not just a perspective of it, but the reality of it. Because you have to go to work. We have to understand that this if it's not a shared common effort, it's completely useless. Yes. So we all have to do this. And a little bit, I'm a little bit baffled that, I mean, it's understandable that maybe the news that we got from the Far East weren't accurate, but we have Italy. I'm surprised that all the major media's outlet, and especially those who are more international, they didn't made any. I mean, we can Skype here now. They could have Skyped with any doctor, any person in Italy, and they would have told you exactly how it is. So what I'm baffled is that, again, these mainstream media, like on one side they're blaming for not exactly information or misinformation, but also the tools are there. So, and I guess that when the crisis hit Italy, because Italy is a very well-known country, many Americans have been to Italy. Many Americans have some relationship with Italy, and I guess that the accounts from Italy made a lot of people aware. So with social media spread very fast, like people were, and I saw that happening, for example, on Facebook, where people were sharing messages from Italy saying, guys, what the heck are you doing? This is serious. But a lot of people are saying that that the informations are like there is a contradiction. On one hand, they're saying this is a little bit worse compared with the flu. At the same time, everything is locked down. There is no contradiction in that. There is no contradiction. If you see a contradiction, it's because you are in emotional denial.
Well, I think there was a lot of conflicting information, even from, say, our high administrative level, where they tried to balance.
But that's the thing.
But also being informative. And I think now everybody is more erring on the side of caution. They're the numbers are, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, the numbers have grown from 100 to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, but we also have to understand that authorities have to do their job, because in Italy, for example, when there was the ship accident, when the ship hit that rock, and basically the cruise ship sunk, and they all blamed the captain because he was one of the first to leave the ship, and they were saying, what kind of leadership is this? Well, why? Because you want a leader to be calm. You don't want a leader to show panic, first of all, and spread panic. So I invite everybody to think about this. Can be a coincidence that right after the presidential speech, the NBA shut down the league? It can be a coincidence. Why? Because very likely the government had to show calm. But they sent letters to all the heads of the organization, all the heads of the major companies saying, guys, we have to shut this down. So we are doing it the right way without spreading panic to the common people, but the people in charge have been notified. Is that hard to believe this? I mean, think about it. It's obvious. What do you want? What do you want to see? You want to see people in the White House screaming with their head in flames saying, we're all going to die. That's what we want to see? Of course not.
Right. Well, like you said, it's their responsibility to inform people fully, but also not cause
Yeah, and it's
Masks
a fine
are
line. It's a fine line. How you do it, it's debatable. There are hundred
true.
thousands ways you can do that. But as we were saying, also, this is a time to show solidarity. This is a time to
Yes.
show compassion,
Right.
understanding. A lot of
Right.
people are going to suffer, not because of the disease, but
Mhm.
because they're going to lose their job.
Well,
Uh,
I think being us as New Yorkers,
yeah,
I mean, this is where we work and live, and and we were talking offline before, after 9/11, everyone just the whole atmosphere of the entire city,
yeah,
8 million plus people was let's come together and
yeah,
help each other.
yeah.
And that whole idea of support, I feel, wasn't as immediate with
Hmm.
this because of the information was kind of,
Yeah,
piecemeal.
yeah.
But in terms of, I mean, the atmosphere, I took the train home 2 days ago.
Hmm.
I would take the Long Island Railroad, and I took a later train actually to avoid the rush hour,
Yeah,
but everybody I noticed wasn't doubling up on seats. Usually, you sit next to somebody, right, whatever, there's an open seat, but anytime there's a double seat and there's a triple seat, there was
hmm,
always a seat in the middle and there was a seat next to a person.
yeah, yeah,
And everybody it was very
yeah.
somber. There were a few people with masks, not a lot of people
Hmm.
had
Well, because
masks.
masks are not that effective. I mean,
Right.
doctors have explained it. Is
Well, it's
the
effective because it's not covering your eyes. It's anything with
exactly,
mucus
and also
membrane.
has openings as
Yeah,
openings on the side. So, and the
right.
problem is that if you're touching anything, and then when
And
you
you
go
touch your
home, you
mask.
pull off
Yeah,
the mask and you touch your mouth. It's exactly the same thing. So
right.
that's why there are few things, really two or three that you have to do, which is social distancing, number one. Number two, to keep everything clean as
Wash
much
your
as you
hands.
can, and avoid contacts.
Close contact.
So
Right.
we all gonna be this in this. Also, we were saying, so how it happened for me. For me was a little bit different because my wife is Chinese, so I got
And you're
first.
from Italy. So,
And yeah, my family lives in Italy,
right.
actually at the very epicenter of it.
Sure.
And so I have very first hand information about it, and that's why you see me this calm. You see this me this calm, because in Far East they contained it. I mean, they had to do the what was unthinkable. Italy is doing what was unthinkable, but it's only unthinkable until you think about it. So guys, this is manageable. It is harsh. It's going to be very harsh, but
Mhm.
also there are a lot of things that you can do to cope with this. That's what we were talking about, right? And
Sure.
how you can use this time constructively. And also, this is gonna be over. We're gonna get through this. Fortunately, especially as Americans, and I think this is important. We have to realize how blessed we are that we live in America, which
Mhm.
is a wealthy country with a lot of food, a lot of wood, a lot of gas. Uh, Digitally, as you were saying, we are very far advanced. There are a lot of things that we can do remotely, we can do online. Guys, this is a blessing. There are other first world countries who are not equipped like this.
Mhm. Sure.
So in times like this, of course, we don't want bad things to happen to us in our life, but bad things happen, and we said, let's use this to become more aware, to become more responsible, to become more compassionate, and have a different perspective in life. Let's use this occasion, this stress test,
Mhm.
to make us better, right?
Sure. Well, I'm in public relations,
Hmm.
Impact PR, as you are also in the media. Communicating through email and online is not a new thing for us. So we were
Exactly.
easily to quickly adapt, and working from home is not a problem at all. But yeah, but it's affected us differently in that we have a lot of live events. A lot of my
Hmm.
clients are in music. They're
Yep.
in entertainment, so
Yep.
a lot of their shows and events had to be canceled
Yep.
or postponed indefinitely. And it cuts off you know, maybe that source of income for them, and people aren't allowed to, you know, be able to transport back and forth. So, so it definitely, there is an economic repercussion as well. And actually, in fact, one of our clients is a beverage company. They were getting shipments from the Far East, and that affected their ability to sell their product. So they, as a result, you know, are not able to increase their income, and you know, as far as they're you know, working with us. So so there, you know, there's a lot of kind of rippling effects, I think, that are going to take place, probably weeks and months, that we'll see the results of.
But also we have to be aware of another thing, that again, unless we lay on the couch and keep ordering stuff on Amazon, that's something that you have to control.
Ordering takeout.
But that is good. But if you start buying, you know, TVs and and you know,
well, that's like, right. There are other industries that are probably going to benefit from this.
That's for sure. But you know, this is the time where
the paper towels the other day.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a time where you can save some money. You know, you won't be able to go out, so you won't spend those money. You know, you won't be able to travel. So a lot of expenses that you would normally have, you will see on your credit card statement how that's going to change. That, you're going to make less money. You're going to spend much less money. So on one side. On the other side, guys, this is going to be a global recession. Okay? So everybody will be on the same page.
Sure.
And the only goal for everybody will be to get back the economy in good shape. So there's going to be measure put in place of epic proportions. So we're gonna receive some relief. We're gonna receive some support. The countries have to do this because there is no way around it. And again, as a world, we recovered from World War II. We recovered from the oil crisis in the 70s. We recovered from 9/11. We recovered from the crisis in 2008. And arguably this can be even worse than anything before. Okay, but we did it before. We are in a better position now than we were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 60 years ago. So again,
well, I think this will be open up opportunities. Now they're talking with doctors and medical people in the medical field. Maybe they'll emphasize more of digital medical treatments.
Absolutely.
They can actually see a patient through Skype and determine, you know, some of the symptoms that they have. They can certainly see rashes and things that are visible. So it could revolutionize the way we receive our medical treatments.
Absolutely, as well as the workplace. I think a lot of companies will realize that you don't need people to waste 3 hours of their life in commuting every day, when you can maybe just have, you know, checkpoints twice a week where you go in an open space, share space. Again, guys, you know, it's always been like this. Let's remember that the internet came out World War II. This system of having an online system between telephones came out after World War II. The best things usually come from, you know, tough times. So
what is it? Necessity is the mother of all invention. So
exactly. So
it's going to be a time when there's going to be a lot more more invention, a lot more creativity online. People are going to, new businesses will pop up as a result of people being online more. You know, so I don't know. I mean, like you and I are optimistic. So I think this could be a good thing. It causes people to be more creative and to look for more opportunities.
And in terms of, you know, some tips about, you know, you can cope with this situation. We were saying house cleaning. You know, usually before spring, you know, we clean our
perfect opportunity for that. Absolutely.
And but not only that, you know, I'm pretty sure if you check your, Dropbox, OneDrive, whatever cloud system, you will find out it's a complete mess. So use this time to
Right.
organize your files. Use this time to,
Digital house cleaning.
yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
As well as, we were saying, of course, yeah, avoid gyms, avoid locker rooms, but go out for a walk, explore your neighborhood, go to your park. And when you are outside, yeah, if you want to talk to people, yeah, go outside, video call, phone call, reach out to those friends and people you haven't heard for a while, and relate with their stories. Support each other. And again, you can do that with a healthy lifestyle. Take time to exercise. You can
Sure.
work out a lot now. You can get
Right.
in excellent shape for the summer. We all need to lose that extra couple of pounds. Let's use this time to focus on ourselves. Let's meditate.
That's true.
There are
Right.
so,
Instead of spending the 3 hours of commuting, like you say,
yeah,
people will have more time at the start of their day, maybe to go outside for half an hour and take a walk.
yeah.
Um,
There are so many apps to meditate now. There are so many channels and podcasts on Spotify.
well,
Um,
that could right. This could increase more businesses.
yeah,
Exactly. The mobile app economy is going to
yeah,
grow even more.
yeah.
So,
So meditate,
mhm.
relax, read a book, spend time with your beloved, reach out to them. Use this time to reorganize your life, think about your life. Of course, we all understand we all need to make some money somehow. um, Again, we will find a way. There's going to be a way to do this. We will all readjust, and if we all make these efforts, in few months it's going to be over, and
Right.
after that we will be able to be back, go back to our lives, maybe more grateful,
Yeah.
maybe more aware, maybe more responsible. And
Well, I think it's also a time, I mean, since the elderly seem, obviously they're most vulnerable with this pandemic. My mother is in her 80s. My
Mhm.
in-laws, my husband's parents are also, in his 80s. So, take care of them. And I check in more with my mom than I have, all
Yeah,
year. So,
yeah,
they're also in serious lockdown. They're not having
yeah,
any gatherings more than 10 people.
yeah,
So this is a time to really check in on your on those on your grandparents and your parents, and
yeah,
and really cherish that time.
yeah,
So take time to
absolutely.
write a letter to your aunt that you haven't seen in a
Yeah,
decade.
yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
there's definitely more opportunities for family.
Yeah, and again, with video calls, you can actually, make some company, give some company, and give some relief. This is an amazing time that we have this alternative, guys. 20 years ago, we didn't have video calls.
Right.
We didn't have the,
We didn't have
Amazon was,
FaceTime.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that we can actually see each other when we need some relief. And again, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be ashamed that you feel shaken, frightened. But don't panic. Don't panic. There is no reason to panic.
Well, it's again, with following the guidelines, wash your hands, don't touch your face, stay away from crowded
Yeah,
areas. I mean, I think if people follow that, it should be okay.
yeah,
Once we get wider testing
yeah,
abilities, we can certainly feel better. But in the meantime, I have cousins in Washington State, which is
yeah,
one of the in California as well.
yeah,
So that I use that opportunity to reach out to them.
yeah.
I reached out to people that I haven't spoken to in 2 decades, from high
Hmm.
school or from college,
Yeah,
just to reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? People
yeah,
that I know that are in Italy or have been to Italy as
yeah,
well. So it's
yeah,
it's it's increasing, and like you said, now we have the means to talk to them more easily.
yeah,
There's WhatsApp, there's Skype, there's whereby all these video capabilities that are free.
yeah.
So
And also, we were saying, because we're gonna pay much more attention, we're gonna be much more healthy because we won't get any infection at all, not even the common flu, if we use these precautions. And and again, we are not on the street, we are not taking planes, we are not taking cars. These are, we don't realize that these,
keeping ourselves out of harm's way and on many levels. Yeah, for sure. We're not flying. My cousin the other day said she took a flight that had 4 people on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely there's going to be some negative repercussions economically.
Yeah.
But I think health-wise, maybe even socially, people are be more in contact with each other, remotely. This, it'll balance itself out. And like you say, months or maybe maybe in a couple of years it'll stabilize itself. It always comes back, right? The market always comes back.
Yeah, so. And again, we were already compared to many other countries, because the unemployment rate was low and the economy was doing well, and because we have this very spread democratic digital environment where we all basically have access, online access. This is great for the rural communities, metropolitan communities, and again, for all the food places. For example, in Italy, believe it or not, guys, this sounds crazy, but because in Italy, of course, in ordinary times, the habit is that let's go outside and spend time together, right? But especially because in New York, I mean, we invented Simulus and Grubhub because we are already in that kind of, it's like, leave me alone. I'm gonna order. I don't need to
drink
go
in isolation.
Exactly. Isn't that true though? Like New Yorkers, New
Yorkers also don't stop. I mean, we don't stop to go out and have a lunch break. We just eat at our desk.
Home delivery, it's something that we've been doing ever since. With the phone, and then with online, and then with an app. So that actually helps a lot, guys, because again, you can order your food staying at home. Now you can buy groceries staying at home. And remember, when you grab something from your delivery guy, be careful.
Tip him well.
Treat him well, because he's risking his life now.
God bless him. He's the one outside, and
but again, tip the guy because he's risking his life right now. But again, because we already have this habit, guys, you can't believe how this is going to be used, because in Italy they don't have this structure. They don't. I mean, they have some apps for delivery, but they're not structured. So actually, a lot of places in Italy, like food places, had to close because they have no customers. Actually, here in the city, especially here in the city, guys, this economy will not die. We will have food places who.
Right. They can easily connect on Grubhub and Seamless and have takeout customers that way. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Even right in the past decade, you'll see restaurants that are clearly not busy, but their back kitchen is popping because they've got a lot of delivery orders. So
exactly.
So and then New Yorkers, like you said, I mean, we're a online city, so this it hasn't changed much, in the fact that we're, instead of ordering to our office, we're now ordering to our homes.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So I would again, guys, we are all in this together. This is not the end of the world. Don't panic. We have enough food, enough gas, enough wood to survive for.
Are you still chopping wood, Joseph?
Well, I better start.
Get that wood pile going.
I'm gonna grow my bird and and wear some flannel shirt.
Flannel, exactly. Yes. No offense to people that wear flannel. God love them.
Exactly. Thank you, guys. and again, let's leave this in this together. So let's all do our part, and we're gonna be fine for sure. And don't forget how fortunate and blessed we are that we live in the first world, in a fully developed country. We have so many privileges, and we have to be grateful because of that, and understand how blessed we are, and we are in a better position of any other country in the world to get over this faster and better. Let's not forget that, and let's be compassionate towards the less fortunate countries who will need our help. And if we need any help, let's not be afraid or ashamed of asking for help. That's, I think, it's best thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
don't be afraid, and use those use Skype and WhatsApp to reach out to all your loved ones, around the country and overseas, because this is a good time to take advantage of that.
Exactly. Okay, so we end this recording over here. We say hello to everybody. Subscribe to this channel. Remember, hashtag #LikeANewYorker. We're gonna do this more. So also, if you have any question, request, leave that in the comment. Beatrice and I will be more than helpful to answer your questions. Or if you have tips, we're gonna read tips and recommendations, how you are coping with this, and how you think you can creatively, get over this. Right?
Yes, please let us know. We have fun games that we can play at home.
Exactly. It's almost a spicy game.
Yeah. There you go. And
Okay.
that's a wrap.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Joseph, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
You too.
Thanks.